Alrighty, Power Rangers Cosmic Fury Episode 6, Takeoff. So the whole premise of this episode are our Rangers trying to get off the planet and find a way back home so they can stop Lord Zedd's forces from invading. Now, I've probably not gone over this in most of my reviews, but it turns out that the Dino Henge base was also sort of being turned into a spaceship, and the whole sort of plot they've had going on in the past couple of episodes is Solon and Billy trying to convert the base into a spaceship, which is something we kind of knew about, like through leaks and rumblings and rumors and stuff like that, that the Dino Henge spaceship, or there would be a spaceship in Cosmic Fury, and I guess I haven't talked about it a lot within the reviews. I don't know why. I know it's kind of an important thing that they need to get off the planet, but I haven't really gone over them sort of turning the base into a spaceship. But in this episode, we see that base getting converted into a spaceship. And in this episode, you have the Rangers trying to rescue Solon, who gets captured by the sort of worms of this planet that they've been on for the longest time. The planet that's been nothing but sand, but also it's got beaches from New Zealand on there. And while this is going on, you've got Ollie intercepting our heroes, but then you've also got the Rangers trying to fight off one of these sort of tentadrills going on. So there's all these different Rangers scattered all over the place trying to do their own thing while they're rescuing Solon, while Ollie's attacking him. And it's up to Fern, who steps up to the plate and becomes a ranger in this episode. So this is the episode where we see Fern becoming a ranger, becoming the Orange Ranger that we've heard so much about ever since the start of the year. We actually see that actually happening in this episode. And when the suit was leaked, all those months ago when we found it through some behind the scenes photos, it had a lot of mixed reception because it was mostly a reskin of Amelia's suit. And yeah, it's mostly the helmet's mostly a kit bash of Amelia's suit, and then it's just like the orange spandex. Now, I wasn't a fan of the kit bash when I first saw it. Seeing the suit in motion and seeing it in action here, it's starting to grow on me like the Cosmic Fury suits. I mean, like I said, they're not bad, they're not terrible, they're just slowly growing on me as the show goes on. And in this episode, you see Fern stepping up to the plate and rescuing Solon and becoming a ranger because she takes Ollie's morpher, and then the grid energy reacts to her heroism, I guess, and that turns it into a ranger. But what kind of dinosaur is she based on? Well, a lot of people said that she was based on the sort of the orange Zord, the Dimitri Zord that we got back in Dino Fury Season 1 and 2, that like orange Zord that we had. Actually, because like Fern rescued Solon in this episode, I guess the grid energy reacted to Solon's DNA and turned her into like a Solasaurus sword, as they call it. So that's the whole premise behind it. And the weapon that Fern has as the Orange Ranger is pretty cool. It's sort of like a rake, sort of like this trident rake that she's got going on, and it looks pretty dope. I am a fan of it. But seeing Fern become a ranger is kind of an interesting game changer because Fern has been sort of tagged along in this situation. Izzy's been trying to protect her, but this is where we get to see Fern actually jump in and save the day. And although it does seem like tension is going to be high between Izzy and Fern because, you know, Fern didn't listen to Izzy, she jumped right into action, they could both agree that they both would have done the same thing. And that's what I really do like about Fern in this episode. Like, she was able to step up to the plate and help Solon. Now, in this episode, you had Ollie and his companion Jozik trying to hunt down the Rangers, and he looks pretty cool. Like, he's from Zoologia, if I remember correctly, and he's got a really cool menacing design with his suit appearance, and I really freaking love it. And this character is just hell-bent on revenge against the worms because the worms took his crew, took his team. And if you remember last week's episode, Lord Zedd gave that speech to Ollie saying, you don't need no teamwork, it was like maybe 2 episodes ago, you just need like to focus on yourself. And Ollie's trying to take that into account here, where he says, don't worry about your team, I don't care about them, we need to get out of here. And he ends up fighting the worms in this episode, and Ollie is just sort of tagging along, he's just joining into the fight even though he doesn't want to be there. And Ollie is sort of questioning Lord Zedd, saying, hey, why don't you have me on Earth? I feel like I'm strong, I can defend Earth from the Rangers if they end up showing up. And Lord Zed gives this big speech, gives this sort of like mentor speech to Ollie saying, hey, even if you're a ranger, even if you're a villain, you're always going to have the big dog trying to bring you down. And you need to take that into accountability, because people are going to always find a way to bring you down, stop you, no matter what side you're on, good, evil. And he goes on with the speech, but then he sort of hints at saying that he's going to be using the Morphin Master to make sure that no one can sort of topple Lord Zed's position and sort of defraud him with whatever he's got planned or whatever he's got up his sleeve. So that's an interesting speech that Lord Zed does say to Ollie, and I do wonder what's going to happen with that moving forward in later episodes, as we've only got a couple more to go. Now, also, we have Heckle finally making his appearance. Ryan Carter as Heckle. And even though it's been like over 10 years since we've seen Heckle in the show, he seems like he hasn't aged a bit. He's still got that Heckle steampunk outfit on. He's still got the goggles. He's still got the blue hair. Like, he's never changed. And he's just hanging out with Squillia, taking selfies and sort of doing his role. And he's sort of being undercover as sort of like the intel by pretending to be his by pretending to be in the relationship with Squillia in the show, which is really great to see. Like, I'm really great to see Heckle back again, because he's one of the characters that I was really excited to see how he'd come into play in Power Rangers Cosmic Fury when we heard all those leaks ages ago. So it's cool to see him once again, and I can't wait to see him in more future episodes. But either way, this episode was pretty fantastic. Like, it was great to see Fern have some more development between her and Izzy, and she became a ranger finally, something that's been teased for the longest time as well. I think ever since January we've heard rumors and rumblings that Fern was going to be the Orange Ranger. And then we saw the suit, and then we saw the morpher. I know those timelines don't add up, but that's when we saw him. But yeah, we finally get to see Fern morphed, and it's an alright, it's like mixed opinions about the helmet. Like, they should have made something like original maybe, but either way, I think it's a pretty cool like design that they've got going on. The weapon looks really cool, and I'm excited to see what Fern is going to bring to the table moving forward, because she's using Ollie's morpher, and once Ollie joins the team again and becomes good again, then she won't have powers anymore. So she's stepping in for Ollie's position on being a ranger with the crew. So I do like that. So I do wonder when she's going to hang up the morpher and stop being a ranger, because it is a dangerous job, and although you get to see her fight and hold her own a little bit in this episode, it was good to see. But anyway, guys, that is Cosmic Fury episode 6. What did you guys think of it? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. With that said, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful day or night. I'll see you guys later. Peace out, take care, bye.